Good day everyone, welcome to Chemistry with Organic Chemistry course. So today I'm going to discuss the history of chemistry, branches of chemistry, pure research and applied research in chemistry, and the use of scientific method to applied chemistry. So what are the goals or the objectives of this course? So after the completion of the chapter, the students will be able to, number one, identify the famous chemists in the field of chemistry, recognize the five main branches of chemistry, contrast pure research and applied research in chemistry, and apply the scientific method to chemistry. Okay, now let's proceed to the history of chemistry. By 1000 BC, civilization used technology that would eventually form the basis of the various branches of chemistry. Examples of these are the extracting metals to ores, fermenting beer and wine, extracting chemicals from plants to make medicine and perfumes. So alchemy was a form of chemistry that flourished during the Middle Ages and Renaissance. Although some alchemists were fraud, others made major contributions, including the discovery of several elements and the preparation of strong acids. Listed here are the famous personality and their contribution in the field of chemistry. The first one is Democritus. Democritus proposed that the matter exists in the form of particles. Then alchemists. The alchemist sought a universal solvent, attempted to change lead and other metals into gold, and tried to discover an elixir which would prolong life. The alchemists also learned how to use metallic compounds and plant-derived materials to treat disease. Then Alexander Volta invented the electric battery, and Sir Robert Boyle formulated the fundamental gas law, proposed the combination of small particles to form molecules, and differentiate compounds and mixture. Now let's proceed to the importance of chemistry. So chemistry is very important in all living things because living things, for them to function and survive, their bodies perform various chemical processes. Also, chemistry is the foundation of medicine. Without chemistry, we cannot make a medicine or drugs to cure diseases. And then the food we consume each day comes directly from chemical processes like beer, cheese. They undergone fermentation. Then chemistry is needed for the continual advancement of the technology. So what are the branches of chemistry? For the first one, we have organic chemistry. Organic chemistry is a branch of chemistry that study about life. Organic carbon compounds contain C and H bonds, and one of the examples are petroleum and almost all medicines and food. So organic chemistry overlaps with many areas including medicinal chemistry, the design, development, and synthesis of medicinal drugs. It overlaps with pharmacology, the study of drug action. The second one is the organometallic chemistry, the study of chemical compounds containing bonds between carbon and a metal. The third one is the polymer chemistry, the study of chemistry of the polymers. And the last one is the stereochemistry, the study of the spatial arrangement of atoms in molecules and their effects on the chemical and physical properties of the substance. The second one is the inorganic chemistry. Inorganic chemistry is the study of compounds that are made of only one or no carbon elements. This is a branch of chemistry that some carbon compounds are included but they don't contain C and H bonds. Branches of inorganic chemistry includes bioinorganic chemistry, the study of interaction of metal ions with living tissues, mainly through their direct effect on enzymes activity. Geochemistry, the study of chemical composition and changes in rocks, minerals, and atmosphere of the Earth or a celestial body. Number 3, nuclear chemistry, the study of radioactive substances. The fourth one is the organometallic chemistry, same with organometallic chemistry in organic chemistry, the study of chemical compounds containing bonds between carbon and a metal. Then the last one for inorganic chemistry sub-branches is the solid state chemistry, the study of synthesis, structure, and properties of solid materials. The third branch of chemistry is the analytical chemistry. It is the study of separation, identification, and quantification of the chemical components of natural and artificial materials. It has qualitative analysis, which is more on physical properties, and identify and quantitative analysis, the measure and amount of certain substance. It also involves qualitative and quantitative determination of the chemical components of substances. So the example areas including the analytical chemistries are forensic chemistry, the application of chemical principles, techniques, and methods to the investigation of a crime. Then environmental chemistry, the study of the chemical and biochemical phenomena that occur in the environment. It relies heavily on analytical chemistry and includes atmospheric, aquatic, and soil chemistry. Then the last one is the bioanalytical chemistry, the examination of biological materials such as blood, urine, hair, saliva, and sweat to detect the presence of specific drugs. The fourth branch of chemistry is the physical chemistry. It is a chemistry that relies on a lot of physics and math to study the changes in energy that happens to a matter. It is the study of the shape of non-living matter and how that affects matter at the visible scale. It also studied the rate of a chemical reaction, the interaction of molecules with radiation, and the calculation of structure and properties. So here are the sub-branches of the physical chemistry, the photochemistry, which is the study of physical changes caused by light. Surface chemistry, the study of chemical reaction at surface of substance. It includes topics such as absorption, heterogeneous catalysis, formation of colloids, corrosion, electrode processes, and chromatography. The third one is the chemical kinetics, the study of rates of chemical reaction, the factors affecting those rates, and the mechanism by which the reaction proceeds. And the last one for the sub-branches of physical chemistry is the quantum chemistry, the mathematical description of the motion and interaction of subatomic particles. It incorporates quantization of energy, wave-particle duality, and the uncertainty principles, and the relationship to chemical processes. Then the last one, or the last branch in the field of chemistry, is the biochemistry. Biochemistry is the study of biological processes of all living organisms. There is an evident overlapping of different branches of chemistry, but they are all observed in a system of living things. The study also include biochemical research, include cancer and stem cell biology, infectious disease, and cell membrane and structural biology. So listed here are the branches or the sub-branches of biochemistry. For the first one, we have molecular biology, the study of interaction between the various systems of the cell, such as different types of DNA, RNA, and protein symbiosis or biosynthesis. The second one is the genetics, the study of genes, heredity, and variation in living organisms. Excuse me. Then the third one is the pharmacology, study of mechanism of drug actions and the influence of drugs on an organism. The fourth one is the toxicology, a sub-branch of pharmacology that study the effects of poison on living organism. Next is the clinical biochemistry, the study of the changes that disease cause in the chemical composition and biochemical processes of the body. And the last one is the agricultural biochemistry, the study of chemistry that occurs in plants. So now let's proceed to basic research versus applied research. So before that, what is applied research? So applied research, it is an examine of a specific set of circumstances, and its ultimate goal is to relate the result to a particular situation. Applied research uses the data directly for the real-world application. In applied research, the goal is to predict a specific behavior in a very specific settings, while the basic research focuses on fundamental principles and testing theories. Mistakenly, it is sometimes implied that basic research doesn't have practical application. Basic research, also known as pure research or fundamental research. Applied research and basic research have three major differences. They are different in their purpose, context, and methods. So, applied research and basic research is different in purpose. The purpose of applied research is closely associated with solution of specific problems, while the basic research relate to creation of new knowledge or expansion of the current knowledge without any concerns to applicability. Then for the context, applied research objectives are set of clients or sponsor as a solution to specific objectives, while the basic studies are usually self-initiated in order to expand the knowledge of to expand the levels of knowledge in certain areas. Then, differences in methods. Research validity represents an important point to be addressed in all types of studies. Applied studies are usually more concerned with external validity, whereas internal validity can be specified as the main point of concerns for basic researches. So this is the summary of the differences of applied versus basic research. So applied research solve particular life problems, while the basic research expand current knowledge. Also, applied research is practical and descriptive in nature, while the basic research is theoretical and exploratory in nature. Applied research is more specific in scope, while the basic research uh, is wider in scope. Applied research associate with the advancement of technology, while basic research is less associated with technology. Applied research create a solution or preventions for future problems. Then the basic research only predicts future phenomena. Then applied research is client-driven, while basic research is curiosity-driven. Applied research has direct commercial objectives. Then the basic research does not have direct commercial objectives. It is also highly connected with economical pursuits, while the basic research is less connected with economy. Applied research is more often appear in academic publication, while the basic research is less appear in academic publication. Lastly, um, applied research occurs in real-world setting, while the basic research takes place in a sterile environment. So let's proceed to the application of scientific method to chemistry. Okay, so what is scientific method first? So scientific method is a step-by-step way in which scientists answer questions involve a series of steps that occur or that are used to investigate a natural occurrence. So these are the steps in scientific method. The first one is the problem or questions. Then next is the observation or the research. Then they need to formulate a hypothesis, conduct an experiment. After experimentation, they need to collect and analyze results. Then they need to write a conclusion. Problem question. Develop a question or problem that can be solved through experimentation. Observation, research gathered through your senses. Identifying and clear defining the problems. So one of the examples of this is many salamanders near a pond have curved, not straight lines. So that is your question pertaining to salamander tail. Okay, then your hypothesis. Hypothesis is the first building block in scientific method. This is suggested a solution to a problem. Then experimentation. Experimentation, a procedure to test the hypothesis. Conducting controlled attempt to test one or more hypotheses, it including recognizing and analyzing the result. In experimentation, there are two types of variables. So, what is variables first? Okay, so variable is the thing that are happened in experimentation or during experimentation. So, the first one is the independent variable. The independent variable is a factor that intentionally varied by the experiment. Then the second one is the dependent variable. The dependent or responding variable is the factor that may change as a result of changes made in the independent variable. So what is the control group in experiment? In a scientific experiment, the control is the group that serves as the standard of comparison. The control group may be no treatment or an experimenter selected group, meaning controls are not being tested and controls are used for comparison. Okay, then now we are here to the data analysis or the collection and analysis of the result. Okay, so the result of the experiment, in analyzing the result, it may be quantitative or qualitative. So, quantitative data measure or values or counts and are expressed as number. Data about numeric variables, for example, how many, how much, or how often. Then, the qualitative data measure of types and may be represented by a name, symbols, or a number code. Data about categorical variables, for example, what type, what is the best, etc. Then lastly, you need to make or write a conclusion. Conclusion is the answer to the hypothesis based on the data obtained from experimentation. In conclusion, you are formulating a generalization about the results which may be accepted, reject, or modify a hypothesis. Okay, so these are the references in this presentation. So thank you very much for listening and attending this class. Again, thank you.